Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the BWC. Today we'll be going to Battle Cage, and what that is basically it's an event that four of the top stars in the company will go into a cage, and one will walk out as the #1 contender at Rise to Glory for the World Championship. So that is what will be at the end of this episode, that event. But today, the first week, we are starting off with a Heat promo from Dave England. He's obviously frustrated because he's lost quite a bit of title matches, and he just recently lost for the International Championship, which is supposed to be way below him, so he's very frustrated with the whole world. And he calls out anyone, and guess who answers? It is the newest member of our roster, Warlord Khan Fang, one of the greatest Japanese wrestlers of all time, and he won Wrestler of the Year. There's a event thing that happens where there's like a bunch of awards that are given out in this game, and I forgot to record that, but Warlord Khan Fang did win the Wrestler of the Year, but he was treated pretty badly in Japanese Samoan Alliance Wrestling. He had like nine losses to 2 wins or something, so he decided to come over to our company, which we are glad to have him. So right there, and hey, make a match on the spot. You called out anyone, you called out the Warlord, and you lost. Okay, Dave England, you lost. Alright, and then we have a promo battle, Nick Steele and Alpha. Nick Steele is pretty much the #1 contender right now to the World Championship, so that match will most likely be taking place at Battle Cage. And we have a surprise return here, Landon Morgan, after his short hiatus, about a month. He was injured slightly, but he is back, and this is a qualifying match for Battle Cage, so he will win that, and he will qualify for Battle Cage. He will be in that match. Alright, now Dusty Lightning versus Ricky Blackbear. Ricky Blackbear will win this one, and then he will call out Patrick Peterson, the United States champion. And here we are at the main event, I guess, finally. This is another qualifying match, and it is the return of Frank Flores, who was out for like a month, and he is fighting his friend Felix Frost. But this qualifying match for Battle Cage, Frank the Great Flores is going to win. So there we are. We have Landon Morgan and Frank the Great Flores as qualifying, and we will see who's next week. Alright, week 2, our first qualifying match, we have Alvaro Reyes versus Jason Barbarian Flores for Battle Cage. Jason Flores will win that, and we'll have a 3-way promo. These are the 3 guys that are confirmed so far: Landon Morgan, Frank Flores, and Jason Flores. And next up, we have a match here. This is going to be Matt Black winning this match versus Mark Sharp, and it'll be with the help of White Wolf attacking Mark Sharp. And we're going to have a shocker. We're going to have Razorblade come out here and save Mark Sharp from being even further attacked, and maybe making himself a friend outside of the Wolfpack, which turned their back on him. Alright, now we have a international championship match. Lee War giving an opportunity to Apollo Lazara. Lee War is a workhorse, and he will defend his title yet again on this weekly show. Now we have a backstage confrontation, Lee War and Jinzo. Lee War still does not like Jinzo very much. In a promo battle, Patrick Peterson and Ricky Blackbear right here. And Patrick Peterson is the face in this feud, but he can turn back heel anytime depending on his opponent, but he is cheered at this current moment. Alright, for our main event, we have Marco Lazara versus Cole Howard. This is a qualifying match for the last position in Battle Cage, and it will be Marco Lazara that wins this match, qualifying for Battle Cage. Alright, here we are in our 3rd and final week before Battle Cage. Starting us off, we have Nick Steele doing smack talk on Alpha, and Alpha right back for their title match coming up, and then the European Championship fight. So we have Evil Sanders versus Axel Weiss. Evil Sanders is going to retain. And now we have a backstage confrontation with a brand new tag team that's formed with Razor Blade and Mark Sharp. Razor Sharp, which is a pretty cool name because of their names. That is a new tag team that formed, so we will see what happens with that. We have a tag team match. Jay and Kyle win that one. And now we have a promo battle, Patrick Peterson and Ricky Blackbear for their United States Championship match. We have a match, Alvador Rage versus Warlord Con Fang, the newly acquired wrestler, and he will win that. And then he will confront Felix Frost backstage, possibly setting up in the future. And here we have a main event, and this is a big main event right here. This is Frank Flores and Marco Lazar versus Landon Morgan and Jason Barbarian Flores. These two are going to win. These former enemies are going to win this tag team match. These are all the people who are going to be competing in Battle Cage, which we will go to after they fight, which we'll go to right now. Alright, here we are at Battle Cage, so let's just get right into it. Alright, our first match for the World Championship is Alpha, the champion, versus Nick Steele, the #1 contender, and Alpha is going to win this one and retain. Next match, for the European Championship, we have a rematch, Evil Sanders versus Felix Frost, who he beat for the belt, but Evil Sanders is going to win yet again. And then we have a after-match attack, Con Fang, the Warlord, beating down Felix Frost. Seems he is targeting Felix Frost. And here we have a tag team title match, Black and White versus Jay and Kyle from the Rage faction. Black and White will win that one. And then for the United States Championship, this has been teased for a few weeks, Patrick Peterson versus Ricky Blackbeard. Patrick Peterson will win that one. And for the main event, Battle Cage, 4 of the top stars will enter a cage, and they will one by one get eliminated until one walks out. We have Frank Flores, Jason Flores, Marco Lazara, and Landon Morgan. So who will win this match? And the winner of this match will go to face the champion Alpha at Rise to Glory. The winner will be, unexpectedly, it will be Landon Morgan. He will win. He will beat all of the others and get yet another opportunity at the World Championship at Rise to Glory. So we will see next week how that all unfolds. And then here is the Wrestling Spectator. We gotta scroll through here. Feel free to pause and read that anytime. And I am not going to show the power rankings this week because we have a lot of surprise people who are joining the company that will be shown at Rise to Glory. So we will see you next week at Rise to Glory.